Alright guys, so today's video is going to be a little bit different than my normal stuff. The next 2 weekends are deer season for me here in Iowa. So I figured I'll make a video talking about what guns I take hunting and tell you a little bit about them. So let me know what you guys think. Well, this first one, I don't take deer hunting. This is my pheasant gun. This is a Stoeger Uplander, side by side, 28-inch barrels. There's nothing super crazy or special about this one. It's a good gun. I enjoy it. I like it. I went with the side by side just because I like the look of them. Very classic look. It's always been a good gun for me. I definitely recommend one of these if someone is thinking about it. The only thing I've done to it is put a butt pad on there. It's not so much for the recoil. Birdshot, it really doesn't kick that bad. Both barrels is a fairly hefty gun. So it doesn't kick bad, but adds an inch to the stock. I've said in a few other videos, I'm pretty tall. I'm 6'6". So the factory length of pull on this, when I'd pull up on it, stock would be too short. I'd shoot over top of the birds, like clay pigeons and everything. I put that on there, and I've hardly missed a bird. I've hardly missed a clay. Not bragging, but it should make sure your shotgun's fitted to you, and that'll make a huge difference. I got mine. This is a 12 gauge. I guess couldn't tell by the giant barrels. And I got the double triggers. So, safety off. Bang, bang. So, the front trigger fires this barrel, and that one has an improved cylinder choke in it, so it's a little bit wider. Back trigger fires this barrel, and that one's got a modified choke. I think their logic was when the bird first comes up, get him with the first one when he's closer to you, so you have a little bit wider spread. And then if you miss that, or if there's a second bird, you have your second trigger. That is for when he's a little bit further out. I don't know if I've never really used that. I pretty much just pull that one, then that one, kind of whatever range they're at. I think if you spend that much time thinking about which barrel to use, he'll be too far away anyways. So if you could do like real quick split second decision, that'd be good, or good if you can. I don't know how practical that is. I don't think I've ever done it, or not consciously anyways. Yeah, usually just 1, 2. Takes a little getting used to. My dad has a hard time with it. He'll use this gun. He'll shoot the first one. He'll try to pump it. He's used the pump action for 40 years now. So, but I can do it pretty quick. Boom, boom. I'll shoot doubles. We're shooting clay pigeons and stuff. We'll put 2 in the thrower. I'll shoot doubles with it fairly easily. Or used to be able to. I don't shoot shotguns nearly as much as I used to anymore, since I've been getting more into the competition shooting and handguns. So, but it's always fun to go out, buy a brick of shells and run them through this and shoot a whole bunch of clays. Yeah, so that gun is a Stoeger Uplander with 28-inch barrels. The next one, this one I do use deer hunting. It is a Ruger Super Redhawk in 480 Ruger. See those great big bullets. I kind of just bought this thing on an impulse. My brother just bought a 454. I was in the gun store the following week, maybe 2 weeks after. So I made a 450 or 480. Well, 48 is bigger than 45. So I got one up him a little bit. The 454 does have a little bit more energy. His gun is a lot more violent to shoot. Like, it's got a lot more snap to it. His is a Taurus Raging Hunter, the 8.5-inch barrel, and his is ported. And his, like, shooting one-handed, it wants to break your wrist. This is more than a 44 Magnum. Obviously, it's a bigger bullet. 480 falls about between 44 Magnum and 454. It's a bigger bullet, moving slower. These, I shoot 325 grain bullets, doing like 1350, I believe. So these are still moving, but 454, they are going real fast. I think he shoots 250s, and they're doing like 1800, something crazy like that. So both of those are more than enough for, whitetail deer. Like, both would be enough for bear. But so I got this thing. If you've seen my first video I uploaded was me shooting this in a competition. So it's gives you kind of a idea on how it shoots. You can hang on to it by those last couple shots, because those 12 shots pretty quick. Those last couple, like, I didn't even hit the target I was supposed to. I was, yeah, 12 shots through this about as fast as you can do it. That's rough. I bought some of these to shoot that stage with. The speed loaders for 480. So put that in there, twist it, unlocks them, they drop into the chambers. These are Hornady. I can't think of the exact brand. They're Hornady, 325 grain, jacketed hollow points. I think these are the only loading they have for them. Honestly, if I was going to do it again, I wouldn't buy a 480 because you can't find ammo for it. Like, I like these. They have some that are like 400 grain bullets, like lead round nose and wad cutter, stuff like that for other brands. Buffalo Bore makes them, but Buffalo Bore ammo's insanely expensive. So I like using these, but they're pretty much always out of stock everywhere. Like, you can't find these anywhere. So a 454 definitely has that, because I've found 454 at Farm and Fleet before. And Fleet Farm definitely has it. Nowhere has 480s because nobody has a 480. It just never really took off. Yeah. If you want a big Magnum handgun like this, 454 would probably be my suggestion. I like my 480, but I think the 454 is better. So I think that would be my suggestion to get. But I wouldn't sell this to buy a 454. I carry this from hunting. I'll carry it on me in a chest rig. This is or chest holster, not really chest rig. Sits here like this. Takes the weight of it. Sits there very comfortably. Cylinder sits like just below your sternum. So it sits there. The weight is on your shoulder. It's out of your way. Butt here doesn't get in the way, because I'll carry a rifle also. This one's going to be hanging out here. And I'll pull the rifle up, no issue. So this is the way I suggest it. I carried it on my hip 2 weeks ago. I went to Wisconsin deer hunting. Didn't have any luck there. There's buck only. And I saw a few does, but no luck getting a buck. But I carried it on my hip, on my belt I use for hunting to keep all my stuff in. And it was just digging into my hips. I had cinched the belt tighter just to hold it up. And it was sore by the end of the day. Walking a few miles with all that weight on your hips, that gets old fast. This is the way, if you're going to have something like this, this is definitely the way I'd suggest carrying it. I don't know the weight on this gun, but it's a lot. If anyone's ever, seen a Ruger in general, Rugers are pretty overbuilt. They're known for be strong actions. They're heavy. Big, heavy guns. It's got 7.5-inch barrel. Oh, yeah. But yeah, this sits pretty nicely right in here. We have some drives. I do a lot of the driving when we deer hunt, or pushing the deer. I'll only bring this because I'll be going, if I see a deer, I'm seeing him at under 20 yards. So, and this will definitely do the job, which is kind of why I like having the big caliber. You have smaller calibers, just for if the deer's going to be kind of walking through or walking by your blind. I know guys have taken deer with 357s. It'll definitely work. I wouldn't carry one because I think it's a little light, other than specific circumstances, and you really need to be confident in your shot, be a good shot, like be honest with yourself that you're a good shot, you can make a shot so you have a clean, ethical kill. Not that this is, you hit him in the leg and they'll drop dead. You still need to have a good shot on this. But I think this gives you a little bit more room for error that you may need when you're driving deer. You're driving deer, come through brush, and you see them quick. If you hit the shoulder instead of just behind where you want it, this will punch through the shoulder and still bring the deer down. So it's like some people start getting a little bit too caught up in the shot placement over stopping power. I think people have started going the other way with it, where everyone's trying to shoot deer and elk and everything with the smallest rifle possible or smallest gun possible. I've seen people ask if they know, if they could take a deer with a 223, or not deer and elk. I know people have taken deer with 223s, and it'll do it if your shot placement's good. It'll do it. Not saying it won't do it. I know everyone's uncle shot a deer with a 22 Magnum. They used to do that all the time. Everyone always says they shot a lot of deer with 22 long rifles. It's shot placement over power. That doesn't make it ethical. If you're going to be a hunter, if you're going to be a good hunter, you need to be ethical about it. And, if you can't handle a big enough caliber that will ethically do the job, well, I don't think you don't get a hunt then. There should be caliber limits on it. It's kind of my soapbox. I'm not a big fan of everyone trying to use the smallest caliber possible to take a deer or take any animal. I know people have done it. Yeah, yada, yada, yada. I've heard a million stories. I don't like it. I don't think it's ethical. I think if you're going to deer hunt, you should bring enough gun. I know I'm sure I'll get some comments. Oh, it's shot placement more than power. Well, yeah. But shot placement with more power is better than shot placement with not enough power. All right, take this thing off. Now, the most interesting one I hunt with, everyone either loves it or hates it. This, look at it. This is a French Mass 36, or Moss 36. It is what the French used in World War II. It's very simple bolt action, but mine is a little bit different. Mine is in 450 Bushmaster instead of the original 7.5 by 54 French. I bought this gun. I was kind of getting some surplus guns for a little while. I've always liked these. I think they're cool. It's a cool looking gun. I like them. They're very simple. Apparently they're good guns. I don't have any complaints about mine. But when I got it for steel. These are over $1,000 a lot of times for a good condition one. Mine's a little rough. But I didn't realize, I got it off Gunbroker, I didn't realize the bore was pretty much completely rotted out on it, or rusted out. So like at 50 yards, my bullets would hit sideways. And I tried scrubbing it out and cleaning it, but like the rifling was virtually gone. So, well, I tossed around the idea of rebarreling it and stuff. Like putting it, new 7.5 barrel. Then that amount of work on it, it's like, well, I'll just buy another one of these in 7.5, then I have one. The cost of doing that will be about the cost of just buying a good one. So it's, yeah. But what I decided to do, if I was going to rebarrel it, because I don't like having guns I can't shoot. There's no point in having a safe queen. I decided to rebarrel it in 450 Bushmaster. There's nothing to look at that. It is a 45 caliber straight wall cartridge that is designed to be shot out of ARs, so it'll fit in an AR mag. So in Iowa, this was a few years ago, about 10 years ago, we could only use shotguns. Shotguns or muzzle loaders or handguns. Then they changed it. You can use a rifle in a pistol caliber. So if you have, 44 Magnum lever action rifle, that'd be a good one. Most of our hunting, we're shooting deer under 100 yards. That'd be a handy little deer rifle. I thought about getting one for a while and just kind of never really pulled the trigger on it. But that'd have been a good little deer rifle. Then they changed it so you can use a rifle cartridge over 35 caliber, but it has to be straight wall. So like these, they're a lot more accurate than shotgun shooting slugs. Especially because most guys just use their bird barrels and shoot rifled slugs, which sometimes they're accurate, sometimes they're not. Like mine, when I used it, I was shooting it last year. I had a target at 100 yards. Like the last year I used that gun for deer hunting. I had a target at 100 yards. I was shooting a foot over top of the target. So that's how it is. It doesn't have sights on it. You can get rifled barrels and shoot sabot slugs, but then still kind of same issue. I know a lot of guys that do it. Those are accurate. Big thing with those is cost. Like those are $4 a bullet now, or $4 a shell. I have a Savage 210. They're bolt action slug gun. I have one of those. I was shooting the Remington AccuTips out of it, and they're $20 for 5 shells now. So it's crazy expensive, and they aren't as accurate as this. Those you shoot a 2-inch group with them at 100 yards off the rest. This I'll get all 3 bullet holes touch at 100 yards, which a deer isn't going to notice that big of a difference in accuracy. But these are a little bit more accurate. These have less recoil, not as big and bulky. Shotgun shells, great big things, that big. It's just kind of a lot to carry. So generally rifles are better. So we started using these, and now we can use anything 35 caliber or bigger. So it doesn't even have to be a straight wall. So I know a lot of guys are starting to go to like the 35 Wellens. That's a 30-06 necked out with 35. But I built this a couple years ago when we could only use the straight walls. I went with 450 Bushmaster because it's just what worked. 7.5 French and 450 both have the same case head as 308, 30-06, pretty much all of those. So I didn't have to modify the bolt. It was just put a new barrel on and I was set. But the cool thing is it will use the stripper clips. So use the same stripper clips. So I can, with that, I won't load this because I'm in my kitchen. But drop that right in there. Close the bolt, you're ready to rock. Up top here, I have a Vortex Crossfire II. 2-7x32 scout scope. With rifle like this, you pretty much have to go with the scout scope. You load it from the top, so you'd have the scope in the way. If it's traditionally where it'd be hard to load the gun. You really couldn't do it. Nothing to mount it to here. So, yeah. And it's just, it works good. I don't know the advantages, disadvantages of a scout scope. It's a scope, a lot of guys used to like them. They're kind of dropping off in popularity now. But works good. I like this gun. It's heavy. It weighs like 11 pounds. So, a lot of guys that hunt with, like, that's too heavy. I'm like, I want to carry that thing. I don't mind it. You know, maybe I'll get sick of it, but that's also, I really like the gun, so I'll put up with the weight. A lot of people don't like it because, you know, I've ruined a historic rifle. Yeah, I guess I can see that. I don't disagree with them, but also, if I pulled the barrel off of it, put a new 7.5 barrel, it ruins the historic value anyways. So, if I'm ruining it either way, I'll ruin it into something I can use. That's pretty cool. You know, one of a kind, I guess. But, so those are my only real guns, or the guns I use for hunting. Do you have any questions, comments, thoughts? Let me know. Feel free to leave a comment. Yeah, be sure to like, subscribe. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next one.